and welcome to Underground Examination, live from Studio 67 on the campus of Nash Community College. I'm your host, Nouran Shabaan, and today I'm with the one and only creator and frontman of Because Villains, Travis James. Travis, thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah.
How are you?
I'm great. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you.
Good.
We really appreciate you for joining us today and performing us all your songs acoustically. So I'm going to jump right into the questions and ask you, how would you describe the music that you typically create?
My stuff is really, kind of tried to say now, very organic. So lyric-based, lyric-driven, a lot of melody, and I tend to swing for the fences a lot. So I write big, kind of spatial, bigger songs. Just tends to be tried as relatable as possible.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And when it comes to like your creative process, how would you describe it to the music that you create?
Oh, sometimes I know we were talking about this before. I get a little superstitious about it. Actually, I feel like if I talk about it, it won't happen, which is kind of crazy. But a lot of the times, being a guitar player and playing multi-instruments, I'll have bits that I love that I'll pick up and keep them and put them in kind of the memory bank, right? You guys know what I'm talking about. But the reality is there's also a lot of lyrics happening. So a lyrical idea gets born, and sometimes you just repeat something, and it's just this really kind of cool vibe. And sometimes at the right moment, that lyric marries up with that song, and then sometimes it's real quick. It all happens in one moment. I think the thing is you can't try to control it.
That's
because
true.
the second you try to control it and kind of grab this thing and force it into something, then it's going to come out on the song. It's not going to sound. It's not going to hit anyone here.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's the whole thing. That's the whole goal,
yeah.
right?
And how long does it usually take you just to think that this is it? This is what this is what I'm going to do.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's a good question. Sometimes immediately. I have to say, there's 1,000 million different opinions, right? You could create something and you feel like it's the most truthful, beautiful piece of art, and someone on Twitter is going to hit you up and say, "This is trash." I get it. Everyone's entitled to their opinion for sure. For me, when I accomplish what I have in here in song form, I can tell you, I feel it. There was a song I'm going to play later today, but a song called "The Feeling." I had to write and a rewrite. It happened over this winter. It was fairly quick. Had trouble getting the chorus, but when I got it, and it was the kind of thing where you sit down, you put the guitar down, and you just think, I did something. I did a thing, And that, I will say, for me, it absolutely hit me. It hit the notes.
Well, that's a good motivation to have to create the music that you create. And I guess it's time to hear your very first song that you're going to perform live for us.
Sure.
Tell us the name of the song and tell us a little bit about it before you perform it.
Sure. This is a single I released last year as part of what I call the Love Trilogy singles. Kind of the 3 songs. This song I'm about to play is called "Save This," but there's 3 songs that kind of in real time tackle the idea of love and relationships and sort of how it starts. I will say it's a little bit of a jaded skew, little jaded. Life, #life, am I right? But the 3 songs kind of chronicle in real time kind of the destruction. We talk about love can save us, love is great, and it is. But there are some times where you can be caught in a bad spot and it can take you down a road. So that's kind of the Love Trilogy singles. "Save This," 9 p.m., and "Made of Toxic" is the conclusion of that. But this song is the first one. It's my version of a love song. It's a song called "Save This."
Awesome. Well, thank you for sharing that. I'm just going to lead you to it. This is "Save This" by Because Villains.
Thanks.
Don't know how to say this. The words will never come out right. I don't think I'm gonna make it through tonight. There is no drive long enough, a bottomless wine glass cup, a get to you, to get to you. And I'd give me away for one more day. Keep fighting back those tears, know they'll get you here. Oh, oh, oh. There is no road I see in front of or back of me that gets to you, that gets to you. There is no plane high enough or travel plans I could conjure up. So close to you, so far from you. I'd give me away for one more day. Keep fighting back those tears, know they'll get you here. You need to know this. You need to hear this daily. I'm not sure if you noticed, but I'm waiting, hopeless and helpless. Can't you save this? I'd give me away for one more day. Keep fighting back those tears, know that I'll get you here. I'd give me away for one more day. Keep fighting back those tears, know that I'll get you here. You need to know hear this daily. I'm not sure if you noticed, but I'm waiting, hopeless and helpless. Could you save this?
Awesome.
Hey,
That was
hey.
awesome, yes. Well, I'm sure that this song I'm going to have to hear it after we're live because it's going to get stuck in my head now.
All right. That's what we try to do. That's what we try to do.
Thank you, Travis, for sharing that. That
Thank
was
you.
awesome.
Thanks.
I want to jump into talking about the new album you currently released called Yes.
All right.
I just want you to tell me a little bit about, the process behind creating this record and how long did it usually, took you to complete it?
It's funny. I launched, I've been writing songs my whole life and playing. I launched this Because Villains concept for me in March of 2020. Worst timing ever. So got real good at being a iPhone cameraman myself and a lighting guy and a sound guy in my home studio. I'm actually need to take the time to thank you. I'm so happy I'm not playing from my iPhone right now and there's people. It's super nice. But when Because Villains started, I had a lot of backlog of things. I decided to kind of form this into this statement kind of that I'm making here. And Yes is a catalog of like many songs, many albums. There's a big roadmap. I have a big whiteboard and notebooks at home like a geek. So I like map everything, right? There's lots of arrows and sticky notes everywhere. But the interesting thing is I had 2 songs and I've been working on the last one of the songs on the record, and it shaped the entire thing. And I actually had a nerve surgery, an elbow and a hand surgery last year in the middle of actually recording Save This, the song I just played. And that's where the Yes came from. When I was unconscious, I woke up and the first thing I saw was a massive yes on my hand. That's actually the album cover, right? But it was so positive and it just was so now, and it hit. And the songs on there were such a big message, and they were bigger songs spatially, right? So For me, yes, is a combination of, there was a song on their Painkillers, is a song I'll play later, but a little bit of an older song, but the other two bookends were pretty much brand new, and it just needed to happen right then and there. So recorded aux parts, some vocal parts and stuff. It was the first time proper that I'd been in a proper recording studio in years, because usually I make the records in my house.
Yeah.
So my good friends, Clear Track Studios down in Florida, did an amazing job. Got to work with a producer down there, Spencer Bradham. Absolutely. It was the two of us. I played all the instruments and sang, obviously, but the process of making the record was actually complex, from the house studio, from the professional studio, pre-production, post-production, writing. It was really rewarding. There's a ton of fun. I actually tracked most of it on my Instagram. You can actually see there's reels and stories of me, tracking drums and this and that, and being a general nerd like I tend to be. So there's that. It was a good. It was a great experience.
Seemed like a very challenging time for you when creating that album, but it made a really great record.
Yeah.
Very, very happy to hear that. Also, out of all the records like you've created in the past, and the one that you just came out recently, which one do you think took the longest with its creation process?
Now's the time where, should I be that truthful or should I not be that truthful? I'll go somewhere in the middle. I will say my debut was an record called Nesting Glitch Case. And I actually had a fair amount of those songs were written a while ago, and I'd held on to them. Insecurity is a dangerous, dangerous thing. So I'd held on to them and was waiting for the right time to kind of organize this thing. Life takes you down paths. You can't get back without going there, right? So I held on to them for a while. I would technically say that was the longest one. But and right subsequently after that, I released another EP called Breathe Fast Slowly, 3 separate singles, and then Yes. So they've been coming out pretty quick. Now we're hitting a groove.
Awesome, yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I guess it's time for us to go to the next song. Tell us the second song. I'm really, really excited to hear that one.
I had to write 2 songs for this interview? Are you really? But I only had the one. So this is the debut single. This is the song I'll be performing called Goodbye.
Yes, this is Goodbye Everyone by Travis James. Here we go.
Be better for you if I could be better for me, but it's not that easy. You say I talk too much without saying a word. That's because it costs too much and I'm being hurt. And it feels like goodbye, honey. And I know that it's time. Oh, I'd be present for you if I could be present for me, but it's not that easy. You say you push too much, I'll get what I deserve. I know that I'm losing touch, 'cause this doesn't work. And it feels like goodbye, honey. And I know that it's time. Oh yeah, 'cause I've been goodbye, goodbye. I'm not gonna wait to fix the fallout. Not gonna wait till you see me fall down. And I'm so tired of trying so hard. I'm so tired of running so far, so far, so far. And it feels like goodbye. And I know that it's time, 'cause I've been bleeding myself blind. The more I look, the less I find. And it feels like goodbye, 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 bye, bye. There you go.
Awesome. I love that track. It's
Nice.
just awesome. I just love it.
Fist bumps. Fist
Yes,
bumps.
absolutely. Okay, so real quick, let's talk about a little bit about your your
Okay.
performance.
Cool.
I just want to ask, like, what would you say is your most the best experience you had with performing, like your most memorable one?
Oh,
Yeah.
there's a couple. It's funny, I was telling Isaac this story. There was a club. I used to be on the road a fair amount, but there was a club called Fat Baby in New York City, in Midtown Manhattan. It was so cool. And it was, kind of a bar up top, but the rock club down underneath, and it was just this old school New York, like sawdust on the floor, kind of like awesome vibe where people went to hear rock music. They went there to hear, like to be in the excitement, to sweat, to get their eardrums blown off, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Those were some fun shows. I toured with a trio up there before this villain stuff with some really, really good friends of mine, McCoy Gibbs and Mike Fiorentino. But yeah, had a great time with that, and those were memorable gigs. Second memorable gig I played at a place called Room 5 in LA. Just a really cool, it was actually acoustic, believe it or not. And again, it's so exciting to be in a place where people want to hear music, and no offense to incredible writers out there, but as a musician, right, when you're in a spot and the gig is to play covers, the little kid inside of you dies a little bit, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And so where people want to hear that and be excited by new music and go, huh, that's interesting. That's a cool feeling.
That gives you a lot of energy that you want to keep going and you just want to perform in front of them.
Oh,
They
yeah.
give you that really, really good energy and motivates you all the time. So, I completely agree with that. And if you could travel anywhere around the world with say your guitar and you want to go perform in a venue, where would it be?
Man, I'm such a nerd. Have you ever seen Pink Floyd live at Pompeii?
Yeah.
I keep talking into this, I realize it's this one, but geez. I got the chance to go there once, and David Gilmour is like my hero of heroes for musicianship, the guitar player. But, and I sat in the middle of that place and I was just like, So what's interesting, it's so cheesy to say that though. It would just, there's just a lot of spirit there, a lot of energy, and it's very cool. I'll kick myself on the drive back, but we'll go with that for now.
Okay. Well, hopefully you can, go to it again and see it.
Yeah.
And a little bit talking about musicians who wanting to start out the career. What advice would you give them to start out that career? Because I know this is a very challenging career because people feel so anxious about it. What advice would you give them?
There is a lot. There's so much out there. There's so much content. There's so many songs, and there are people that have different goals, why they're writing songs. So, I would say first you have to understand what your end game is. If you want to be the TikTok, girl or guy, composer that is, if you want to do that, then that's a little bit of a different game during the day than it is if you're going to be a quote unquote classic or songwriter, or a rock writer or folk or alternative or what have you. So I'd say the first thing to keep it easy, I would say you have to know kind of the end game, where you want to be. Where do you want that dart to go on the board? And have clear goals. Sounds so nerdy, right? It's pretty rock and roll. Have clear goals, everyone. Very clear goals.
No, that's a really, really great advice, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And I think there was a second part of the question?
No, just like literally thinking of like an advice you would give to new beginners for sure. I always go by that advice too in the industry that I'm like leading into. So very great advice. I guess we're ready to play the next song.
Oh my! I had to write 3.
What's the next song called?
This is a song on the new Yes EP called Painkillers.
Painkillers. Okay, well we're gonna go for Painkillers for Because Villains, and here we go. Because Villains.
Here we go.
Words like stupid songs that are stuck in my ear that I don't wanna hear again. And you're making me ill. I've had too many pills from this odd prescription. So teach me a lesson or I won't forget. Like a bright shiny bullet headed for my chest. You dig it around, now would you give it a rest? I'm looking for something that I'm never gonna get me painkillers. Starting to get it back again, medicine. You're making me suffocate. I'm starting to break. Would you save me from myself? Would you save me from myself? Could you save me from myself? 'Cause I'm in denial. Words like stupid songs, so much more of the same. I need more Novocaine again. And you're screaming out loud, haven't you figured out there's no gas in this engine? So teach me a lesson, one I won't forget. Like a bright shiny bullet headed for my chest. You dig it around, now would you give it a rest? I'm looking for something that I'm never gonna get me painkillers. I'm starting to get it back again, medicine. You're making me suffocate. I'm starting to break. Would you save me from myself? Would you save me from myself? Would you save me from myself? I'm in denial. This is the last time. This is the last time I give in. This is the last fight. This is the last fight I won't win. This is the last day. This is the last day I regret. I've been looking for something. Something that I was never gonna get me painkillers. I'm starting to get it back again, medicine. You're making me suffocate. I'm starting to break. Would you save me from myself? Would you save me from myself? Get me painkillers. I'm starting to get it back again, medicine. You're making me suffocate. I'm starting to break. Would you save me from myself? Would you save me from myself? Could you save me from myself?
All right.
Thank you,
Did you
Travis.
hear my backing track there?
I did. That was awesome. I like that. I was singing with you.
I'm gonna try like a new thing. Backing tracks that don't sync up.
Yeah.
It's a pop quiz.
Yes, pop quiz for sure. So I'm giving it to Isaac.
For sure.
All right. We're gonna lead to the questions before you perform your very last song.
Sure.
Sadly. So I want to go back again with the advice that you gave that you want to give to new musicians who's starting out. Let's go. Advice to you. If you would go back in time to your past self, what's the one advice would you give yourself then?
The advice I'd give myself
Back in the day,
back in the day.
for sure.
Stop worrying so much. And the funny thing is, I know that even now, it's like it's so hard to do that. You know, you get anxious as a, are people gonna like this? Is this, is this relatable? Is this gonna make someone feel strongly enough to support and spend their time on and go look up and stream? Is it powerful enough? Is it good enough? As a writer, I am constantly going, oh man, this, that, and this should work. Just relax, stay the course, stay true to yourself. Yeah. I'd love to do that, and then I'd proceed to probably slap myself in the face or something.
You think you would have been in a different career back then, before becoming a musician?
Music has always meant so much to me. In elementary school, I was the kid, on xylophone day. I was the kid, can we stay after class? Explain to me, the different sounds that the rubber mallet makes. Why do we have wood mallets? And what's a marimba? Just big time nerd with that stuff. I don't know that there's ever been anything really kind of stronger than music, to
Awesome.
be frank.
So you wouldn't change, you would just stay a musician forever.
Yeah, go with what you know.
Awesome. And we're gonna say, for the next question, what's new for Because Villains?
I had mentioned before, I'm super proud of it. I had released, EP, single, EP. It's a lot of recording time, and like all of us going through the last year and a half that we did.
For sure.
It was really, really hard, I think, emotionally. It was hard physically. It was hard monetarily for everyone, and everyone's still trying to get their feet back on the ground. And I wish everyone, everywhere, kind of luck. But I think for me, in a wave of all that stuff and all the stuff that has happened, to me, I'm so fortunate. It's happened so quickly. I'm working on my first full-length album, which will be pretty exciting. Gonna go back to those the whiteboard and the Post-it notes that I told you about, right? So we're in pre-pro for that right now. Going to do some different stuff for that. It's going to be a little bit of a different experience. I'm excited to start the journey even further. But as for the right now, Yes has been so big and so fun. Frankly, I think I owe it to myself to frankly just breathe and relax. Maybe take my own advice, right? There's a lot, and we got to get our feet under us here, and hopefully things start returning to normal.
Hopefully,
and we're
yeah.
all in a better, and the collective all of us are in a better spot.
Awesome. I wish you best of luck on that. I know you'll do great. And I guess this is time for us to play the last song. What's it called? The very, very last song?
This is the last song on the SEP, the single. It's actually semi-finalist in a super cool competition right now, which I kind of blew my socks off, the unsigned only, which is super fun. But this is a song called The Feeling. It's the last song on the Yes record, and it means a ton to me.
Awesome. Well, we're excited to hear it, so here we go, everyone.
Awesome, thanks.
Yeah.
And I know that I'm not any better than when I was with you. And it's true that I'm no one's favorite son. Oh. And I know that it won't make it better, but it's time I tell the truth. I'm sorry, baby, but I was born to run. And I run, and I run. I've become numb comfortably dumb, looking for you. Am I losing my mind? I chase it all the time with these little heart attacks. Should I look and go see something's wrong with me? Where did I jump the track? I want the feeling back. And I know that it's late and you're watching every second on the clock to find out if I'm worth the time or not. Oh, it's getting harder to read your mind, so I guess I'll just use mine. Sorry baby, I don't fit inside this box, so I'll run and I run. I've become numb, comfortably dumb, looking for you. Am I losing my mind? I chase it all the time with these little heart attacks. Should I look and go see if something's wrong with me? Where did I jump the track? Get me the feeling back. Yeah. Am I losing my mind? I chase it all the time, these little heart attacks. Should I look and go see if something's wrong with me? Where did I jump the track? Get me the feeling. I want the feeling back.
There it is.
That was Travis James, everyone. That was awesome. Thank you so much. We really appreciate your time. One last thing before we go, how could your fans find you and your music on social media?
I'm glad you asked that question. Thank you all for your time here. Seriously, everyone, very, very cool. Happy to be here. Thumbs up all around.
Yes, awesome.
Hope to do it again. You can find me at Because Villains. On Twitter, Because Villains. Instagram, Because Villains. Facebook, Because Villains. There's plenty of Google searches to embarrass me in general all over the place with info. On Spotify, you can reach out to Because Villains. Again, seriously appreciate every little heart, follow, like. Us musicians and writers live and die by that stuff. So Apple Music, Amazon, streaming everywhere, streamers stream.
Awesome.
So thank you, I appreciate it.
Thank you so much for your time. We really, really appreciate it, Travis. Good to see you, and you have awesome music, and I wish you best of luck. And there you have it, folks. So I guess that's it. Thank you all for watching. I'm Nouran Shabaan, and remember to always stay positive. And I'll see you next time.